Well, good evening and welcome back. We're just about to begin the run chase of this game number 4 of the Sigmas Premier League Season 3 2025. It's going to be a long weekend. We have another 2 more days remaining. Tomorrow we have 5 games, and then on Sunday 3 more games yet to take place. And this is the last of the 4th header that we have. So 107 runs required for victory for the RDS. It's going to be Istiak and Rizwan to open the batting. And Seru with the ball starts off with a quick single towards point. Gets the innings underway. Well, it's a good score here, 106 on the board. At one stage, they were struggling to go at above 6 runs and over. ABC, it's been a very good recovery from them, managing to score 106 in their allotted 12 overs. It was a very, very good comeback, to say the least. That's going to be a wide, and he's got to re-bowl that now. Well, Seru, he's been quite tight today. Even in the previous game, he bowled quite well up front, kept things nice and tight. But he'll need a wicket or 2 here. They'll need to keep picking up wickets because ABC were beaten in the first game. So it's going to be very crucial for their chances that they get 2 important points here today. Two for no loss. 105 more runs required for victory. Still seems like a long way away. Well, that's played very nicely. Getting inside the line of the ball, swiveling across, and beautifully placing it down towards the fine leg region. No chance for the fielder at short fine leg whatsoever. Well, that would certainly set the tempo. Six for no loss. Oh, that one was a quicker delivery. That had some pace behind it. That's a wide. Some bit of extra bounce on that occasion for Seru as well. He's a tall lad, mind you. With that height and the shining new ball, he's bound to get the bit of extra bounce. Seven for no loss. Well, this is Kide. This is an opportunity. 2 fielders converging. And the catch has been taken. A very, very good catch. Not easy under lights, especially here at the Sharjah Stadium. When the ball goes that high, you need to have a very, very cool head to take a catch like that. The sky is not easy here at the Sharjah Stadium. And the first wicket falls, and it is Rizwan who has to walk back to the dugout. First blood drawn here by ABC. RDS in a spot of bother. They lose their opening batter. Rizwan back to the dugout for 4. It's 7 for 1. They're asking the question. First ball, Shabir. Very, very nearly getting dismissed there. A very good over there by Seru. 7 runs coming off that over and a wicket as well. Good start here for the men in green. 7 for 1. Shabir on strike now. Oh, good delivery. Very nicely bowled. Bit of shape there. Moving away from the right-hander. Well, it's 30 minutes past midnight here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Still action very much on. Seven for 1. Well, it's good to see the men in green putting up a fight. Well, not time there. And put down. Goodness gracious, that was one of the easiest of chances that you can get. You'll not get something easier. That was an absolute dolly, to say the least. Oh, goodness gracious. You could have taken that with your eyes closed. How did he manage to miss that up? Oh, goodness. Disaster here for ABC. A chance created, not taken. Well, they have to pick their game up here at this stage. The men in green, ABC, they're staring down the barrel after a loss earlier on in the day today. So it's absolutely crucial that they take the catches that come their way. 8 for 1 now after 1.2 overs. Well, Asif, he had a horrid start in the first game. He's bowling quite well here. Oh, nicely bowled. Asking the question politely. But that was mightily close to that outside edge. Well, very similar start for the ABC as well with the bat. They were around this 5.5 runs and over mark for almost half the innings initially. Good delivery. Very good delivery. Wicket to wicket bowling here by Asif. Well, that's what can get you wickets. When you keep bowling those lines and then create those pressures, it's just inevitable when a batter can make a mistake and throw the wicket in. So this over has been brilliant here by Asif. This is skied. Has that gone all the way? Not enough gas to carry it through. Very close to those boundary ropes, but not enough to carry it over. So they get a couple of runs added to the tally. The over comes to an end. It's 11 for 1. Solidly behind that there. Seru continuing. Two deliveries bowled so far. Seru and Asif have been very accurate with their lines and lengths. The first over going for 7 runs for Seru. Ten for 1. Run rate drops below 4.5. Oh, that's sloppy. That is sloppy again. The ground fielding standards have to be lifted up. When you're competing for a tournament like the Sigma, the Sigma Premier League Season 3, where cricket's always at very, very high levels, you have to make sure that they put your best foot forward. Good delivery. Yorker length, a quick single. No, in fact, it's a dot ball. 11 for 1, all the ones on the board. Well, that slashed hard. And that's a boundary. Shabir with a glorious hit over point. That was what you call a stand and deliver. Just look at that for a stroke. Standing up high. That delivery was short and wide, and it had hit me all over it. Well, Shabir certainly acknowledges it in style. Much needed boundary here for the RDS. They've had a slow going here in the first 3 overs. They need a few more of that if they are to get to that score. Oh, that's a massive one. Fielder coming under and completely once again misjudges that. Well, for a second I thought that was out of the stadium. That had tremendous elevation, but not the distance. Bowler not happy. 3 overs done, 17 for 1. Well, that's hit hard. And another boundary. This one was one of the best tonight. Off the back foot. And he absolutely plummets that out of the middle. Well, this is more like it. This would give Ishtiaq a load of confidence. Well, if you had any doubts early on, think again. Because the game's certainly on. 21 for 1 after 3.1 overs. Well, nicely played there this time for a quick single, and that's the perfect result. That's what you should do. A proper batter would always rotate the strike, especially after hitting a boundary, because they say usually once you get a boundary of the very first ball of the over, you can easily convert that over into a double-digit over. So they've already got 5 runs on the first 2 balls. Smart batting here. Shabir this time watchfully played a single towards square leg. Well, he goes over covers again. This one is into the stands. Oh, Ishtiaq is playing a blinder of an innings here now. The couple of strokes that he's got the middle of the bat, he's looked magnificent to say the least. Oh, this is getting interesting. This is getting exciting now. Just about 10 deliveries ago, you felt that they were lagging behind with a run rate of around 4.5 to 5 runs and over. Well, now they're touching 8. That's how things can quickly escalate. 1 over can completely change the complexion of the game. $29 for 1 now. 78 more required of 8.2 overs. Another quick single. Well, what a fantastic over this is here for the batting team. They've already got 12 of this over, 13 in fact. And they still have another ball to spare. The momentum back with the batting team now. They've got to carry on. They've got to make sure that this partnership becomes fruitful in pursuit of this score being set. 77 more required. Just below 9.5 runs and over. Oh, that's a brilliant take. That's a brilliant catch. Shabir on that occasion. That was short and wide. He went hard at it. But the problem there was he hit it straight down the throat of the fielder. Look at that. Great match awareness. He moved very swiftly to his right. And brilliantly taken there by the fielder. Huge moment. A big over for the RDS. Finally finishes off with heartbreak with a big wicket of Shabir. The second wicket down off a 30 at the end of the fourth over. Alright, so 30 for 2 and it's some spin now. Anis, the new batter, coming in at number 4. The new batter taking strike now. He'll like to make a mark here. Oh, beautiful delivery. Footwork going nowhere. Feet planted deep into the crease there. Not the right way to play a spinner. You have to get those feet moving or you will be in all sorts of trouble. "31 for 2. Well, gets off the mark, the Anis. "32 for 2. Look what a wicket can do. Wicket falling in the last over, and now suddenly the run rate, which was touching close to 8 runs an over, suddenly once again dipped below 7 now. Well, he's looking quite comfortable out there, Istiak. Well, he'll need to go on for his team. Make a big one here today. See the team through. Required run rate now has climbed above 10 runs and over. So last ball of the 5th coming up. A quick single. And he's made it easy. So decent over here by Nias. Just giving away 5 runs off his first over. 35 for 2 after 5. Well, 35 for 2 now. And Unais introduced into the attack. Big lad. He's got to use his height to his advantage. If he can land the ball in the right zone, he can be a bit of a handful. Anis, the new batter, 1 of 3. He's got to re-bowl that. Well, another wide delivery. Well, you can ill afford to do that at this stage. Got to keep things nice and tight. A quick single, not collecting that cleanly. Istiak still out there in the middle, 21 of 13. The required run rate now has touched 10 runs and over. If the ABC can hold their nerve and take their catchers, they can certainly get over the line. Forty for two. Oh, good delivery. Very nicely bowled. That's more like it. That's the length he's got to persist on here, Unes. Well, Anis, from the moment he's walked out to bat, he's not looked very comfortable. It remains to be seen what he can do. Watchfully played there. Rolling the wrists over the ball for a single. Run rate 7.24. Required rate now touching 10.5. That's gonna go get out of hand very quickly. Single's not gonna hurt the bowling team at this stage. But as we approach the halfway mark of this innings, the final 6 overs certainly would be very interesting to say the least. Last ball of the 6th coming up. A huge heave missing out there. A dot ball to end the over. 6 overs done. 42 for 2. Another 65 more runs required for victory of the last 6 overs.
Well, at the halfway stage of this innings, this match is equally well poised. Niasi's bowled an excellent first over, hardly gave any runs, and I think this is the right move to be bringing him at this juncture of the game because another wicket, and that too, if you can pick up Ishtiaq at this stage, that'll mean you have two new batters at the crease, and then it's going to be very difficult to be chasing the 65 more runs. Beautifully done once again, but just the line. I really love the trajectory at what he's bowling, but the problem is the line on the last delivery, just drifting on the leg side. Extras is something I believe the men in green can't really afford. We saw them in the previous encounter, went on to give a lot of freebies. But on this occasion, when they know that they do have a fair chance to win this game, can't really afford to be leaking runs in the form of extras. Now, this one has been heaved away towards deep mid wicket. Gets a boundary. It's gone like a tracer bullet. No stopping. So Anis has decided it's high time. I should look to play some strokes. Too full. It was in the slot. And he's gotten 4 important runs for his side. It's an expensive start to this over. Couple of wides and then a lovely stroke coming in from the blade of Anis. Once again tossed up. This has been cut away but straight to the hands of the fielder. Bit of a mix-up in the middle but no real damage done. Yeah, Nias is just asking his teammate to be a bit more precise with the throws. So they're making a change now in the field. They've opted to take a deep cover in position. And the deep mid wicket now is coming in the circle. And Anis, he likes to play towards the deep mid wicket. Oh, beautifully bowled. That is a top class delivery. It's completely bamboozled the batter. Nias, by far their premier ace bowler, has been brought into the attack quite early because you don't want to be holding him back in the latter part of the game. You would rather just want to bring him early and ensure that you don't allow the batters to really get away from this game. Still, it's 50-50. It's a good little contest we are witnessing. Just have a feeling this might just go right in the last delivery of this game. 58 more required. Each and every dot delivery you can see is putting a lot of pressure. So the problem is the dots. You can see 3 dots already in this over. So it's either a 4 or usually it's a dot. They don't really take the singles and doubles. That is one area of concern. This has been cut. And they will look to come back for the second. Now this is going to be close. Not too sure where Anis was going. Yeah, he's not very happy with his partner. But I think Ishtiaq, he's got all the right to really blame Ishtiaq because Ishtiaq was ball, or rather, beg your pardon, Anis was ball watching. And he wasn't even looking at his partner because Ishtiaq showed absolutely no interest whatsoever to come back for the second. A better throw. And things would have been very interesting. Let's see if he has made his ground. He seemed to be pretty confident in the middle as Anis, but yeah, look at that. Very wayward throw. A better throw. And I believe would have been quite a close call. Let's wait and watch once again. Excellent last over by Nias after he was struck for a boundary in the second delivery. He did exceptionally well to give another couple of runs after that. I think now either of these two batters really need to take up the challenge and look to go big. The required run rate is climbing up to 12 runs per over, and it's not going to be all that easy to really get those 12, 13 runs easily against a quality bowling attack. Nofel for the first time. He might be targeted as he's bowling his first over now. This is high up in the air. It's miles up in the air. And he makes no mistake. The celebration says it all that this was the moment they were waiting for. Tossed up delivery. And to bring Nofel at this juncture of the game has worked in their favour. Lovely catch. Look at the balance. Eyes on the ball. And he's jubilant, taking a very good catch in the deep. And Nofel strikes in his first over. It's 51 for 3. New batter makes his way in the centre. Wicket keeper, left-handed stylish batter. Hassan Darwish. He'll have to get into the act as quickly as he can. Nawaf is bowling his heart out. Brilliant bowling so far. Lovely delivery yet again. This is what wickets do to you. The moment you lose a wicket, there's a few dot deliveries, and look at how quickly that run rate is increasing. It's now going up to almost 13 runs per over. So it's getting tougher and tougher for the men in black. Hassan Darwish surely will not hold back. He will look to score some quick runs for his team and get his team back in onto track. Just like that, but he's been beaten all ends up. And I think we need to give a lot of credit here to the captain, Mustafa, who's been smart with the rotation of his bowlers, getting the spinners at the right time of the game. And Nawaf so far, look at what he's done. 1 run, wicket, dot, dot. What's next? Something's got to give. Hassan just seems to be a little agitated in the middle. Hits it down the ground. Single is not going to be a problem at all. Yeah, I really like this approach from RAD&DUST to be sending out a left-hander at the crease. And they would hope that this combination goes in their favour. 2 runs only. Ishtiaq surely will now look to cash in on this last delivery and try to convert this into a big one. Try to hit a maximum on the last ball. No, he cannot get underneath the ball. It is a very good over. And Nawaf has certainly proven his worth and has delivered on a big night. 8 gone, 53 for 3. Brilliant bit of work. Now, this surely would be sent upstairs, and if Niaz is able to pick up Ishtiaq, that will not be such good news for the men in black, because that is one man who is in sublime touch. He's the one who's been scoring the bulk of runs. Well, look at how quickly he's taken the bails off. This is going to be a big moment. Oh, close. We just need to slow this down. This is a tough one. Over to you, third umpire. Yeah, just hardly took any time whatsoever, and removed the bails in a split of a second. So we'll have to go very slowly, frame by frame. Yeah, we'll have to go back. This is not an easy one. But full marks for the effort behind the stumps. Oh, it's a no ball. He has actually grabbed the catch behind the stumps whilst his hands were ahead of the stumps, and that's the reason hence it's been given a no ball. So the appeal has actually backfired the bowling side. Ishtiaq was in a spot of a bother where he was about to be given out, because that was a very close one. Instead, it's a no ball and it's a free hit. What else could you desire? There you go, the signal coming in for the free hit. Niaz, where does he bowl? Just ensure don't bowl full. Full toss, missed out. It was there to be hit, and he will be kicking himself, because that really had to be hit out of the park. Nonetheless, getting 2 more runs to the telly. Keep your eyes on the required run rate. It's hovering up to almost 14 runs per over. 51 more required. They need one big over. So at the moment, the pendulum has heavily shifted in the favour of the men in green. The spinners have certainly spun their web. Oh, the sound of the blade, and that has been tonked out of the park. 6 runs. Niaz offering a lot of pace to Ishtiaq, and Ishtiaq, I think he was sitting and waiting for this kind of a delivery. And the moment the ball struck the bat, the sound of his bat is a testament to the fact that that was a huge, huge hit. Another couple of more sixes, and I think this match will change very quickly, and we will see some twists and turns. It's an expensive over so far. Tossed up, and has deceived Ishtiaq with that flight. He seems to be unhappy. Just couldn't really get underneath the ball. Wanted to hit it down the ground. That was the right approach, the right shot selection, but just playing a bit touch too late. That's been cut away, and they might just consider to come back for the second. There's a huge real estate towards the offside, so excellent running yet again. And they're coming back into this game. Or RAD&DUST, mind you, they've already won their opening game here of Sigma Premier League Season 3 2025, so they're riding high in confidence. They might consider another couple of runs. Easy 2 more runs. So we've seen a lot of 2s in this over, also with a huge maximum. Even after getting a lot of runs in this over, still you can see the required run rate is 13 runs per over. So they'll have to keep up with the momentum. Yeah, it's very, very humid. So the players, they need to ensure they keep themselves hydrated. I keep saying this, and it's such an important element to add when you're playing under these conditions. You need to get the electrolytes going in your favor, and ensure that you keep yourself well hydrated. So just one more over to go on Ishtiaq. The heat is certainly getting on to him. Coming around the wicket between the umpire. Nicely driven. Excellent cricket stroke. Looks so elegant when he plays along the carpet. An excellent over for RAD&DUST comes to the end. It's 67 for 3 after 9. So another 40 more runs required in the last 3 overs. It is doable. And also they have 7 wickets in their hand. But now the challenge is that they need to ensure that Ishtiaq stays out there in the middle. If they go on to pick Ishtiaq at this stage, I'm telling you that the match will be swinging heavily in the favor of the ABC boys. And mind you, this is a very important encounter for the men in green, because in the previous encounter they did go on to lose their opening game. So they can't really afford to be losing another one, because that is really going to put a lot of pressure on the team, and it just becomes very difficult to really make a comeback in the later part of the tournament. Hassan Darwish on the other end tried to play big shots against spinners, but couldn't find much success. And yet again, even against medium pacer, trying to hit it a bit too hard. Has missed that. You can see that Ishtiaq on the other end, he believed that he's missed out an opportunity because it was right in the slot. And good to see that the senior statesman Ishtiaq just having a quick word with his partner and giving him a few words of wisdom, because each and every dot delivery will put immense pressure on RAD&DUST. Quick delivery, the ball just skidding on from the surface. Now you can see that quite contrasting as to what we saw in the afternoon game, where the ball was holding up at the surface. It wasn't really arriving, and it was this team, the men in black, playing their opening game. The scenario was different. The pitch was behaving in a different manner, but talking about this specific game, you can see that the ball is skidding on, and it's coming a bit more quicker onto you. So Testing times, you need to adapt to the situation very quickly and understand that the ball is coming onto the bat much quicker. Lovely delivery, hint of movement. We're into the 10th over, but Mufassalat, he is getting the ball to talk. Brave move, I would say, by the captain Mustafa to be getting a new bowler at this stage, because it could have gone horribly wrong. So far, he's done justice and has proved that he's a decent bowler. Oh, straight back, and has he put that down? I think it was a half chance because it was struck with a lot of force. Let's have a look again. Yeah, that should go down as a drop chance. Not an easy one though. It was a tough one because we know how hard does Ishtiaq strike. 41 in 29. Excellent. This has turned out to be a brilliant over. Mufassalat has given only 5 runs in the 10th over. And now the required run rate, look at what has happened. It's gone on to almost 18 runs per over. 72 for 3 after 10. Well, that last over from Mufassalat has certainly put RAD&DUST at the back foot. That one over they needed. And that is what they have gotten. Only 5 runs coming in the 10th over. They need this over to be big, but this has been skied up. Easy catch. No mistakes made. And now the men in green will believe that this game is pretty much done and dusted, because there was a lot of hopes from Ishtiaq. But after his departure, a new batter coming in and playing on this track against some quality pace attack, it's not going to be all that easy. With the required run rate of almost 20, it's getting tougher and tougher. Nonetheless, excellent innings by Ishtiaq. 42 in just 31 deliveries. 72 for 4 after 10.1. Well, it was a tired looking shot. He was batting so well, Ishtiaq, but clearly the heat was getting on to him, and in comes Ashwak. Outside edge, but the fielder is placed perfectly, and only a single. So the match is now slipping out of the hands of Team RAD&DUST, trying to hit it towards the deep mid wicket, getting a thick outside edge. Hassan Darwish also, since the time he's walked in, hasn't really found any timing or connection. Can he be the hero of his side? 34 needed in the last 10 deliveries. It is doable. We've seen more than that being chased in the last 10 deliveries. So couple of big hits, and surely they will believe that they will have a fair outside chance to win this game. Just need to have the faith and trust and the inner belief in themselves. Beautifully done. This is a very good delivery, a very smart bowling. He saw the batter trying to create room for himself, and that is where Seru just bowling it away from his arc, away from his reach, from his range, bowled another dot delivery. And this is where the experience really comes into play. Seru, he is an experienced campaigner, knows how to be bowling under these conditions, and so far it has been a terrific evening for him. Another swing and a miss. Yeah, it's just getting out of hands now. RAD&DUST were never in control in this game, but what a terrific comeback by ABC boys after their early loss this evening. They're on the verge to register their first victory of this tournament. This has been slapped towards the coverage and gets a boundary, but still they need another 30 more runs. So if he can smash this last delivery out of the park, that will mean you'll need 24 runs, and that also is a very difficult task. But I really think that we need to give credit to the captain. He's been bringing those spinners into equation where really needed them to, and they did rise to the occasion and did a phenomenal job. Last delivery. Oh, that is a very good stroke, showing the full face of the bat, but not getting it from the sweet spot of the bat. So excellent over, an excellent spell by Seru concludes 78 for 4 after 11. Why then we're going into the last over. Mathematically, they're still not out. 5 sixes and the job will be done. Yeah, I'm just asking for a bit too much. Good start to the over. Mufassalat, rightfully so, has been thrown the ball and has been asked to bowl the last over. Why not? When you give only 5 runs, you really impress your captain, and somehow here you are bowling another over. So job well done, Mufassalat. Outside edge, streaky one. It's going towards the boundary for 4 runs, but still a lot of work needs to be done. 25 more needed. So 4 more sixes required to tie the game. They can't really win from here. They can tie the game, but 4 sixes, I think it's a bit too much to ask for on this surface against this quality bowling attack. It's going to be a very, very uphill task. This has been a very good performance by the men in green. Didn't really try to do anything extraordinary, just kept things very, very simple. This is upish, and we'll get just a single, which will bring a Ashwak back on strike. Yeah, it's over now. Even if he goes to hit 3 more sixes, still they will be short by 6 runs. So Ashwak can just try to bring this deficit down and try to get boundaries on each and every delivery, because as I keep on saying, the net run rate plays a huge role in the latter part of the tournament. That's going to be a wide, and in fact, it's ricocheted off his trousers, and that is what the umpire has been indicating. But Ashwak, we can see clearly he's not very pleased with the decision. Yeah, it has. That's something on the way. Maybe the strap of the pad. Not too sure, but yeah, there was a sound. Brilliant. Mufassal hasn't picked up a wicket, but he came onto ball a very crucial 10th over. And look at what he's done since then. It's going to be a long chase. Another couple of more runs added to the tally. Yeah, how brilliant was the captain, mind you, in the first innings with the bat. Scored a run about 30, but those were very valuable runs. I mean, his team was struggling at that stage. None of the batters could really cash on. He came in, took his time initially, stood there, and just at the right time, put the pedal on the accelerator and got a few runs. Dot delivery, and that will be it. What a clinical and a comprehensive performance by this champion side, losing their early game, but straight away in their second game, they have won this game comfortably by a good margin of 21 runs. And this will do a world to their confidence. You can see how happy and jubilant this talented team is. That's the highlights for you. And it was a good start when Rizwan started off with a lovely boundary, was dealing with the short deliveries. And until this happened, it was a tough one, but look at this catch. Brilliantly done. Then came Ishtiaq. Well, this was the man who changed the game. Look at this. That was a dolly. Shouldn't have been dropped. Shabir bowled very well, but with the bat, did start off early, did get a start, ate up a lot of deliveries, and did get a few runs for his team. But the problem was that the momentum was never in his favor. But Ishtiaq, what a fine talent he is. Kept on hitting those big sixes, kept the hopes alive for his team, ensured he does not miss out any kind of loose deliveries. That was, for me, the catch of the day. Anis came in and really took the bowling apart. And that's when we thought they're back in the game. A powerful striker, we know Anis has the tendency to really take the game away from the opponents. But the catching has been absolutely top-notch. And look at the stumping, but that was a free hit. And Ishtiaq, the only hope when he started these hitting these big sixes, it was Seru getting a very important wicket. And since his departure, it was very difficult for team RAD&DUST to make a comeback. Hassan came in, enjoyed his outing out there, got a couple of boundaries to his name. But the target was a bit too much in the end. Well, that is how the things have panned out. You can see that Ishtiaq, the only lone warrior, fought, scoring 42 in just 31, and then Rizwan, so much was expected from him. Shabir and Anis, after getting a start, they couldn't really cash onto it, and then in the end, it was a bit too much for Hassan and Ashfaq to chase down this target. I think plenty to talk about the bowling. Look at the economy rates of all the bowlers. None of the bowlers have surpassed the 10-run mark. But for me, the pick of the bowlers was Seru and, of course, Mufassal, who hasn't picked up a wicket. But he came on to bowl at a very crucial stage and he gave only 12 runs in 2 overs. And, of course, Seru, hats off to him. 3 overs, 21 runs and 2 wickets to his name. An overall collective performance by this very talented side. And that's how the match has ended off this important encounter for both the teams. Team ABC boys put into bat, scoring 106 in the allotted 12 overs. Nofal, Nias and Mustafa, what a tremendous knock. All the 3 men have played, surpassing the 30-mark figure. In the end, RAD&DUST, Ishtiaq, the only man who stood tall and gave a fight. Apart from that, all the other batters struggled. And if you talk about the bowling, Seru and Nawaf bowled their heart out. Asif also picked up a wicket, but in the end, it was this champion side Team ABC boys ensuring they clinch a victory and get those 2 important points on the table. Right then, I hope you have enjoyed all these 4 games. We are done and dusted for today, but do join us tomorrow as we have another exciting day where we've got 5 game lines up. Until then, it's goodbye and God bless.